Well, welcome to must be the fifth part in this series of video broadcast I'm making on the restoration of the Philco Radiogram, which was purchased for 99p, and I gave the guy £5 from a place near Sevenoaks. This afternoon I thought I'd just update you a little bit about what I've been doing since we had the last video, which was basically looking at the record deck, the BSR deck, running smoothly, and obviously the next part, should I say, was to actually get the amplifier and the mains part of the radiogram working properly without any crackles and that, and that's what I've done today, this evening. Today's the 3rd of August 2009, and we've had such a splendid evening that I thought I'd spend a couple of hours out here in the workshop just having a look and having a tinker, and I've done quite a bit of cleaning. So I thought I'd show you that, and also some of the things that go along with that. For example, I always take plenty of photographs of my restoration work, and that's quite good because after I'd made that wonderful video about the record deck, I took it back out again from the motorboard, and lo and behold, a couple of wires fell off the back, and I thought, oh heavens, how am I going to get these back on again? I can't remember quite where they went. I went straight upstairs to the computer, had a look on the screen, and because of the detail I'd taken, I could identify exactly where they needed to go back, and got some solder out and re-soldered them back on again, and tested it a second time, working perfectly. So, oh, thank God for that. So that's good. I basically did know where they went, but it's always best to double check. So the worst thing you want to do is blow yourself up or blow the kit up, having got it to that stage. Anyway, cut a long story short, this evening I thought I'd show you some of the things I've been doing and some of the valves involved in the process of actually increasing the volume, because it's this two-stage amplifier we've got here, and also rectifying the mains power that comes through that big transformer, and getting that into the kit, and also the radio. So we just have a look at that. I'm just going to move the camera just slightly so you can see. And I've taken the actual lid off totally now, and you can see here we've got a series of 3 radio valves. They're small ones. They're called pygmy bulbs because they're not like the original balloon type used to have in the very big old sets that I've worked on in the past. So if we start this end, just about see my pencil top there, we've got a EZ80. These are quite popular, these valves, and they're quite available on eBay as well. So if anybody's doing restoration work and they need to get a new one, I've got a couple I keep spare in the workshop here. Believe it or not, there's plenty of supply from Russia, and they're just as good as the Mallard ones, which these are. These are the original Mallard ones. So you've got the EZ80 there, and that's next door to this large transformer. This transformer is supplying both the amplifier, which is this end, and also it's supplying the radio, which is down there. So you've got a capacitor in the corner here, and this equalises the power source, so it takes out all those peaks in an alternating current. You get plenty of those, so that's working on that one quite nicely. And as you can see, I've given it plenty of clean. It was covered in grease and dust, and it's stuck. And one of the things you don't want your valves to do is pop, because they're overheating, so it's important that we get that right. Then, so I took this complete piece of chassis out. This whole piece came completely out of the kit, and I've given it a good clean underneath. Checked all the capacitors, checked the resistors, they're okay, no leaking there, which should improve some of the cohesion with the mains. And then you've got these other two. You've got these two are ECL82s, and these are quite popular valves as well. They're the output valves for the amplifier, and they work in conjunction with the output transformer, which supplies the speaker here, and that goes through to the wonderful Goodman speaker that is also in this part of it as well. So there we are, those there. Now we need to make sure it's working, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch her on just to make sure, because one of the worst things I've come across is putting it all back, and I have to say getting this chassis back in here was not easy, because you've got the support for the motorboard where the record player goes, and it had to be wedged in, and I was so conscious that I wasn't going to actually damage the valves or any other electronics there, so I wanted to make sure it's okay. I've also cleaned up some of the wiring, because this white wire here is the feed for from the radio through to the amplifier as well, so we wanted to make sure that's okay. And that obviously feeds, you can just about see that, the radio, which I haven't touched yet. You've got the 2 detector valves there and your coils there as well, and the variable condenser, which will need a bit of a clean because it's plenty of crackles on that one, even on analog, medium and long wave. Got a wonderful Goodman speaker there. Move the mains cable out of the way a bit, and you've got a schematic there. So, and I've made a schematic of my work, so if I just show you, there we are, just see that. Very simple diagram, just tells me where everything is, just in case of the future, because ever you need to, the valves go and you think, oh god, what was that number? Because often when you clean them, the covers, the actual print comes off. It hasn't done too badly on these. I've been very, very careful, cleaning it with just a little bit of soap and water in a dish like this, and just with a little duster. You can see the muck that's come off that, and that's allowed me to do that. So let's first switch her on and see what happens. Let's just find the mains cable. Where are we? Around here. There we go. So let's plug that in, shall we? And it'll take a minute to warm up, so let's just hang on while we're doing that. While I'm doing that, my friend the BSR deck is over here. There we are, there we go, there she is. Nice, sitting inside a fragile box. And I'm going to give that a bit of a polish with some wax polish just for the deck, but it's looking good.
It's the all-star line.
Right, here we go.
Of civil rights in America in the 20th century. They're all coming out of the NAACP. Damn that Jim Crow. But then you see a rapid disintegration of purpose and organization. And by the 1980s, the very leadership of the group is in chaos. They become graying revolutionaries. They're sort of at each other about who should control the money.
Okay, well I think that's enough to test that.
The organization is run. I think you see lots of signs
here. There we go. Rather than use the switch, because that needs to be sorted out. Now, one other thing I've done is I've actually taken off the tuning log here, and just to have a, obviously I've got to give that a bit of a clean up as well. Take the tuning log off, and underneath you can see where the pygmy bulb, this little light bulb here, I've got working again. It was actually slightly disconnected. I imagine that's one of the original bulbs. And then you've got obviously you've got the tone and volume and tuning, and then select on there. And there's some, obviously I need to do some cleaning on that because it's such a crackly thing. So I'm going to drop this out. Obviously these two screws here, these 3 screws, drop the kit down. So I should drop that out. And there's a block here which I can disconnect and take that out, and then obviously have a good look at some of the underside there as well and give that a good clean. Now it's interesting to note on here, it says on the front twin speakers. Well, I have to say I can only see one, which is that lovely Goodman's. So unless there's another one lurking behind the tuning area, I wouldn't have thought so. It'd be interesting to see what we see, unless it's a double speaker in one, which may be possible, but I don't think so. I think it's just on the table there on the block. Now, I took some photographs with the SLR camera, and it was interesting that when I actually blew the pictures up, I noticed that there were some strange things lurking in the corner of the photograph. And lo and behold, I found this. A little man, a little soldier. So clearly, at some stage or other, some little boy has pushed his toy soldiers into the radiogram, and also with that there was a penny. Now the penny is actually dated when I can find it, 1985. So obviously 1985 doesn't mean to say that it might have been done later than that, But as this was stored in a cupboard, I was told, interesting to note. So it's almost like some couple of lucky charms with this piece of kit, actually. So, you know, interesting or useless. I'm not sure which those two things are. Got a nice schematic down in the corner here. I can't quite read it, but I'll obviously looks like we've got the ECL 82 valves there. That shows. Oh yes, these are just the back panel ones, and then you've got the RF and the choke ones there. ECH 81. Okay, that's quite a common valve for tuning. And I'm not sure what the other ones are. He's probably two of the same, I would have thought, somehow. And then it also says about the voltage. But anyway, there we go. And just thought I'd update you just this afternoon. And thanks for watching. See you soon.